It began with a casual remark. Over dinner, Amanda swirled her wine, her face masked with practiced indifference. "I've been thinking," she said, her voice casual, yet her gaze sharp. "I need something more." I froze, my knife hovering midair as I raised an eyebrow. "Something more?" I asked. "Excitement," she said, her lips curving into a faint smile. "You know, with other men." The words hit me like a ton of bricks. My chest tightened and my appetite vanished, but I kept my cool. I'd heard of people exploring open marriages, but this wasn't a conversation. It was a statement. "Excitement?" I echoed, setting my fork down. "What exactly are you saying, Amanda?" Her eyes darted away, a hint of defiance in them, not guilt. "I love you, Andrew, but life is short. I want to explore." My heart raced. She spoke as if she was planning a backpacking trip, not dismantling the vows we'd made. "And this is how you bring it up?" I asked, my voice steady but sharp. She shrugged, taking another sip of wine. "I'm just being honest. Isn't that what we promised?" Her audacity stunned me. I could have yelled, slammed my fists on the table, but I stayed silent, nodding slowly. "You're right. Honesty is important." Her face lit up, thinking she had won. But she had no idea what was coming. Over the next few days, I played the part of the understanding husband. I listened as she talked about her needs and desires, while I suppressed the rage building inside me. But rage alone is pointless without a plan. And I had a plan. Amanda had always been meticulous with her social media, curating a flawless life for our friends and family. I had never paid much attention to her accounts, but now I scrutinized them. I studied her posts, her followers, and the men who left flirtatious comments. One name stood out, Ryan, a former coworker who wore too much cologne and posted gym selfies with motivational quotes. I'd met him once at a company party, and I disliked him instantly. Now I had every reason to despise him. Using a fake account, I messaged Ryan pretending to be Amanda. He replied almost immediately, his tone eager and flirtatious. It made me sick to read his messages, but I pushed forward, guiding the conversation toward explicit territory. Within days, I had screenshots of him professing how much he missed her and fantasizing about the next time they'd be together. That was all I needed. One evening, I confronted Amanda. She was lounging on the couch, scrolling through her phone, completely oblivious. "Amanda," I said, my voice calm but firm. "We need to talk." She glanced up, irritated. "What now?" I tossed my phone onto the coffee table, its screen lighting up with Ryan's messages. Her face went pale. "Care to explain?" I asked, folding my arms. Her mouth opened and closed in shock, like a fish out of water. How did I find out?" I cut her off, my voice rising. "Does it matter? You've been lying to me. While I've been here, building a life with you, you've been throwing it away for this clown." "It's not what it looks like," she stammered. I let out a bitter laugh. "Oh, it's exactly what it looks like. But don't worry, I've already taken care of it." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" I leaned in, my face inches from hers. "I sent those messages to Ryan's wife and his boss. And just for good measure, I forwarded them to our friends and family." Her gasp was audible. "You didn't?" "Oh, I did," I said coldly. "And that's not all. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with a divorce lawyer. You want excitement, Amanda? Fine. You can have it. But you'll have it without me." The fallout was swift. Ryan's wife filed for divorce within days, and his employer didn't take kindly to the scandal. Amanda's social media exploded with questions and judgment, her carefully curated image collapsing under the weight of her lies. She tried to reach out, begging me to reconsider, but I ignored her. My decision was final. A week later, I moved out, leaving her alone in the house we had once shared. I made sure to transfer my half of the mortgage to her name before I left. If she wanted to explore, she could do it on her own dime. Months passed and life moved on. I focused on rebuilding, work, hobbies, and friends who stood by me. Amanda, however, became a pariah. Her reputation was shattered, and her excitement turned into a nightmare she couldn't escape. I heard through mutual acquaintances that she'd lost her job after rumors of her infidelity spread. Ryan, it seemed, hadn't been worth it after all. Then one evening, I received an unexpected message from her. It was short and desperate. "I'm sorry. Can we talk?" I stared at the screen for a long moment before deleting the message. There was nothing left to say. Amanda had made her choice, and I had made mine. She'd gotten the excitement she wanted, but not in the way she'd imagined. The story didn't end there, though. As I rebuilt my life, I realized Amanda's betrayal had taught me more than I ever expected. I joined a support group for people who had experienced similar pain. There, I met others who had endured even worse, but found ways to turn their pain into purpose. Their stories inspired me, and I decided to channel my energy into something meaningful. I started a podcast where people could anonymously share their experiences of betrayal and healing. It gained traction quickly as listeners connected with the raw emotion and resilience in each episode. My podcast not only became a path to healing for me, but also helped countless others find strength. Amanda, on the other hand, continued to spiral. She tried to rebuild her reputation, but the internet is unforgiving. Screenshots don't disappear, and whispers turned into outright avoidance. She moved to a smaller town to escape the judgment, but it didn't help. She became isolated and bitter. I heard she started dating someone new, but the relationship quickly fizzled. Trust, after all, is hard to rebuild once it's been shattered. As for me, the podcast opened doors I hadn't expected. I was invited to speak at events, sharing my story and encouraging others to find their strength. Every time I took the stage, I felt a sense of purpose, as though I was finally living a life aligned with my values. Years later, I received a letter from Amanda. It was plain, with neat but hesitant handwriting. I thought about throwing it away, but curiosity got the best of me. Inside was a single page, an apology that felt genuine, even if it was far too late.